Hey, what's up guys? How to deal with strong negative emotions. Something that I know that many, if not all, humans in this society deal with or have dealt with. And I think that this is one of the root causes of what makes us suffer so much and what causes a lot of these mental issues and traumas and all these kind of things, right? Because we do whatever we can to avoid feeling negative emotions, and we'll do whatever it takes, right? Through whatever stimulation, whether it's just overeating, watching TV, spending time with friends, taking drugs, gambling, jacking off to porn, fill in the blank. So in this video I will share with you guys the most effective way to deal with this head on and overcome these strong negative emotions. At least based from my experiences and just from what I've learned through various modalities, particularly through psychology. So if I had to boil it down to one thing that you have to do to finally overcome these negative emotions, it is this. Fully feel it through and allow it, right? To face it. And I'm sure I can end the video right here and there, but let me elaborate. I know that this can be a very counterintuitive solution, but sometimes the best solutions are counterintuitive, you know what I mean? Our human brain isn't designed to make us happy. This thing is like this amazing survival, problem-solving machine. And if you want to boil down and oversimplify like the main mechanics of what drives us as human beings, it is to pursue pleasure and avoid pain. So of course when these negative emotions start to boil up, our first reaction is to avoid it and do whatever we can so we don't have to face it, right? And it's very easy to avoid these strong negative emotions in this day and age, where we've got internet and supermarkets and man, we've got everything at the palm of our hands to distract us through stimulation and all sorts of things. You don't even have to go all the way to the movie theater to watch a movie. You can just open up your laptop and just stream movies on Netflix now, right? And the only way that you can overcome these negative emotions is not to avoid it, but to actually transcend it. And the only way to transcend it is to fully allow it and feel it through. You gotta face it head on. And this applies to any strong negative emotion, whether it's fear, sadness, sorrow, pain, grief, depression, anxiety. Yeah, not too long ago I had an existential crisis which triggered this deep existential despair, anxiety and depression, which, whew, if you guys have ever experienced that, that is on a whole other level to anything that I've ever experienced in my life. And that is considering that I used to be very depressed when I was in high school and had suicidal thoughts and all that kind of stuff. But this was so much more intense and harrowing. And this is one of the principles which I applied, which helped me get through it faster. Because the thing is, guys, like the more you avoid your issues and traumas and strong negative emotions, the more it's just going to build up and manifest in your subconscious, and it's going to grow into a much scarier and darker monster. So it's better to just to stamp it out while you can than to just wait until it just gets much worse. So when these feelings do manifest and they start to bubble up, just sit there with it, breathe into it, and fully and allow it to come through. For example, if you start to feel really anxious, then go into a meditative seating position and just deep breathe and just fully allow it to go through. Don't distract yourself, don't call a friend, don't go on your phone, don't watch TV, don't smoke weed, don't distract yourself with other stimulations, because it's not going to go away. So just sit there and be fully present with it and feel it through. Be mindful on how it's making you feel. What are the sensations in your body? I'll be making videos in the future about mindfulness, meditation and Buddhism and things of that nature, because I think it can really help people be present and be non-attached to their feelings, right? To allow the flow of life just happen. Because at the end of the day, guys, life is impermanent, right? Everything is transient. Everything will pass. Whether it's the good times or the bad times, it's never going to stay that way, and it will always pass no matter what. It's just the nature of reality. It's how it is. So don't be trapped in your mind and trick yourself into thinking that this is just how it's going to be forever, because that's absolute bullshit. That's just the way of the ego mind just fucking with us. So if you're feeling sad and deep sorrow, fucking just sit there, cry. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. You know, if you're feeling anger or like just strong resentment, then like just scream, pound your chest like a gorilla, go punch a punching bag. I don't know, just do what you got to do to release that energy. If you're grieving because a loved one passed, then grieve, cry and allow that to go through. So that way it will pass a lot quicker than you just avoiding it, and then it just starts lingering for months or even years, you know. Now this doesn't mean that every single tiny negative emotion that comes, that you should sit there and provoke it in some way and cry or scream or whatever it is. Like these are the strong negative emotions that won't go away. For example, if you're feeling a little bit annoyed or a little bit frustrated or maybe a little bit down, then that's when you can get out of it, go into a peak state, get into your body, exercise, healthy diet, and that stuff will go away. Like I'm specifically talking about this strong negative emotion that comes from some deep-rooted trauma or issue or whatever, or just it's just part of being human. Like we're all going to go through grief, we're all going to go through periods of deep sadness and sorrow and depression, anxiety, perhaps about death or whatnot. But there's a difference between strong negative emotions, the ones that aren't going to go away by you just avoiding it, and just the little stuff that comes up and then you just allowing that to come through. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. But like I said, when the strong negative emotion does start to arise, instead of avoiding and resisting it, just allow and surrender to it, right? Transcend it. Go through this form of catharsis, because remember that emotion is stored in the body, right? Not in the mind. So you can't think your way out of this. You have to fully feel and be present with it. And you just got to do what you got to do, right? Just be in touch with your intuition and do what just feels right. Allow the flow of emotion to take you where it needs to take you, instead of kicking and screaming the whole way through, because then that doesn't make it any easier. And as some of you may have found out in your own experiences, when you resist, life persists. So I'll end on that note, but if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments section below, or if you have any video requests in the future. I have a lot of cool plans for when I get back home in Australia, which should be in a few weeks, but by the time this video comes out, maybe in like a week or two. But I hope this video gave you some value of some sort, and if it did, show your appreciation by sharing it with a friend or something like that. You know, I'd really love to grow this channel and community together. But anyways, guys, the next time I'll see you will be back home in Australia, so yeah, should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. See you guys on the next video. Peace.